I'm going to give you 8 identifiers that may help you expand this list. I asked you just go on your gut. Now let me give you some things that might expand the list. This is what I call the evil 8. These are the 8 characteristics that these people tend to have that might make them get on that list if they aren't already there. Do they see the world through a lens of arrogant entitlement and frequently treat people as targets? Is there anybody in your life that tends to see the world through a lens of arrogant entitlement? They just think they're entitled and they treat people as targets. Number 2, do they lack empathy? They don't feel for anybody else, just themselves. 3, are they incapable of feeling remorse, guilt, and they fail to learn from situation to situation? You've seen them do something that you thought, well, it's really stupid, and then they do it again and again. They do not learn from situation to situation. Number 4, are there people in your life that are just irresponsible and self-destructive? And do they disregard not only well-being for themselves, but also for others? Do they put themselves at risk and you with it? Do they do things that put your job in peril, your safety in peril? Have they put your children in peril? Poor judgment. Just done things that's just irresponsible and self-destructive, and it washes off on others around them. Do you have people that thrive on drama and crisis? They're just not satisfied unless there's some big drama, some crisis. They thrive on it. They need it. And it seems to follow them around. If there's a crisis, if there's drama, they're always right in the middle of it. There might be a drama at church, and then there was some big problem at the grocery store. Then there was some big problem at school. And the common denominator was that person. They were at the church, they were at the supermarket, they were at school. They are the common denominator. It follows them around. I mentioned this one earlier. Do they brag about outsmarting other people? There's somebody in your life, but they'll sit around and say, oh boy, I tell you, my last job, I had that boss thinking that I was working 60 hours a week and I didn't do anything. Now, somebody that'll brag about that, that's dumb. That's not okay. Do you have somebody like that in your life? Number 7, if you look back through their lives, do they have a pattern of short-term relationships? They just don't seem to be able to last with anybody. And lastly, do they live in a fantasy world marked by delusion? I mean, you have a way of seeing the world. Everybody else has a way of seeing the world, and then they see it differently. They just are in la-la land. They live in a world of their own. These 8, what I call the evil 8, see the world through an arrogant lens of entitlement, lack of empathy, no remorse, irresponsible, self-destructive, thriving on drama and crisis, bragging about outsmarting other people, pattern of short-term relationships, and living in a fantasy world. Does that expand your list of who you had on there to begin? Because I'm wanting you to do a life audit. I said before, life is managed, not cured, and you are the manager. You are your life manager, and it is time to do an audit. Do you have people there that you just wish were not? Maybe they meet some of those 8. Maybe they meet them all. But let me tell you, we're going to do something about that. Now, these people are the ones that I call baiters. These are the ones that I call baiters. And that's my term. I told you that's not a clinical term. That's my term. Backstabbers, abusers, imposters, takers, exploiters, reckless. Do you have them in your life? Now, here's another thing that might explain your list, because these people have certain ways of getting into your life. And I'm going to ask you, are there people that got into your life using these tactics? They infiltrate your life, seducing you with promises or flattery. Think about it. You might call it love bombing. You just might call it manipulation. But did you have somebody that infiltrated? They wormed their way into your life, seducing you with promises and flattery, telling you what you wanted to hear. Did they manipulate you into becoming a conspiratorial confidant? Let me tell you what I mean by that. They're the kind of person that got you over to the side, and it's like, you and I, we'll have secrets between us. And let me tell you why that's a problem. First off, gossip's bad, generally speaking, but these are the people that will get you off, and they will share a secret with you because they understand the principle of reciprocity. They will tell you something that's kind of intimate, kind of private, like they might share something with you about the boss, and you reciprocate at the same level. You think, well, this person's being very transparent with me, so I'll be transparent with them. Only problem is what they told you was a lie. It was just bait. And then you reciprocate with something that's genuine. And then they'll go behind your back and tell the boss what you said. And then the boss calls you in and says, I was talking to Becky, and she said you told her that you think I act like I'm high on the job sometimes. Did you say that? And you may have actually said that in a candid moment after she said something that pulled for that. She may have said, hey, I heard the boss went out with some of his direct reports last night, and they were out at a club till 3 a.m, and I thought he looked loopy when he came in today. And you may say, oh my, yeah, I think sometimes I wonder if he's kind of high. Maybe you said it kind of joking or whatever, but she goes, hey, Shirley told me she thinks you're high on the job. It's not what you meant. I didn't know how you said it, but she drew you in, and now she's got you. Are they way too focused on getting your approval as though their very existence depends on you accepting them? Like, they just got to have your approval. Do they ask too damn many questions? It's like they're always gathering data on you. They're always building a file. I mean, at first it seemed like they were just really interested in you. But as it goes on, it's like, what is this? 20 questions? They constantly misdirect about who they are, but they got a lot of questions about you. No matter what happens about a problem, they always blame others. They lie, maybe to your face, or you may see them do it with somebody else. They either lie by omission or just straight up make a misstatement. They're frauds. They cheat. They maybe steal property, small or large, taking stuff home from the work or whatever. They take credit for other people's work. They may claim false competencies. You see them do it maybe with a boss or whatever, or just at a cocktail party if it's somebody at in the neighborhood, bragging about something that you know is a damn lie. If they have any power at all, it goes to their head. All these questions they ask, they've identified your sensitivities, and they'll push those hot buttons. They seem to have a selective memory. They're revisionist historians. They always remember things the way they want them to be remembered. They're two-faced. They spread lies and gossip. They kind of have a get them before they get me attitude. It's like they're paranoid. The world's out to get them, so they're going to get them first. And they are passive aggressive. They don't confront somebody straight up. They just go behind their backs. Now, does this expand your list?